The cover-up started before the sun rose. Within hours, the security team, who were loyalists to the old guard, suddenly reported mysterious technical failures. The Shell station security tapes? Corrupted by routine maintenance. The traffic camera footage? Scheduled updates erased it. Detective Williams, my only ally, watched his neatly organized case files suddenly scatter and vanish from the shared database due to server migration problems. The blue wall was closing in, fast and hard, working to protect its own. But the old guard didn't know I was a former FBI civil rights investigator. My files weren't on the local servers. They were backed up on secure federal channels, untouchable. I was documenting the cover-up in real time. That Monday afternoon, Captain Sarah Blake, a crisis management specialist who always prioritized budget over accountability, called me. "Miss Vance, we need to discuss Harrison before your appointment ceremony. Technical difficulties may compromise the prosecution. Perhaps an alternative resolution would work better." It was a classic offer. Let him resign, avoid a federal investigation, protect the budget. "Captain Blake," I told her with measured precision, "you misunderstand my position. The reality is, I take office in 6 hours with the authority to review every case, every officer, and every cover-up from the past decade. Harrison faces federal charges regardless of your technical difficulties. Your difficulties only demonstrate the depth of the corruption I was hired to eradicate." By 4 p.m., I was a pariah. Officers avoided my office, administrators canceled meetings. The system was trying to contain me. But the system had a blind spot. Mr. Ahmad Hassan, the owner of the Shell station. Ahmad had watched the whole thing from behind his bulletproof glass. He'd seen police misconduct before, seen the evidence vanish. When Williams questioned him, he gave them access to the primary, easily corruptible system. What he didn't mention was his secondary, private surveillance, the one that uploaded footage instantly to the cloud. "I saw this before," Ahmad told his nephew, Kareem, as they reviewed the footage. "Police hurt people. Evidence disappears. Not this time." Kareem, who understood viral content better than police corruption, uploaded the video at 6:47 p.m., 43 minutes before my swearing-in ceremony. The caption was simple: "Riverwood cop destroys black woman's dress during illegal search. She stays calm like she knows his career just ended." The video exploded. At 7:23 p.m., as I was walking toward the podium to take my oath, Channel 5 News was broadcasting the Shell station footage split screen with the live stream of my ceremony. My professional promise of integrity juxtaposed against the spectacle of a rogue officer tearing my dress. The community's reaction shifted from outrage to anticipation. I wasn't just a victim. I was the solution, walking into power with all the receipts. The next morning, the feds arrived. Agent Rebecca Torres from the FBI Civil Rights Division swept into the precinct with court orders and digital forensics equipment that laughed at local IT controls. They didn't just recover the deleted files. They found the mother lode on Sergeant Martinez's personal laptop, unencrypted, detailed spreadsheets revealing the quota system in cold, hard numbers. Arrests per hour. Penalties for officers whose cases got dismissed in court. Bonuses tied directly to arrest statistics, not to public safety. The spreadsheets proved it wasn't Harrison being a bad apple. He was simply the most productive instrument of an institutional policy designed to violate civil rights for financial gain. Harrison was getting $4,800 in bonuses, while 17 families filed complaints that were swept under the rug to protect the budget. We even found email exchanges between Sergeant Martinez and Frank Morrison, the union president, discussing how to coach officers facing complaints, telling them to always claim officer safety concerns and document noncompliance regardless of actual behavior. They turned victims into perpetrators through bureaucratic manipulation. That Wednesday evening, the city council meeting was standing room only. I walked to the podium wearing a simple, sharp suit, my war armor. I started my testimony not with emotion, but with the numbers. Officer Harrison's assault was not individual misconduct, I declared, displaying Martinez's spreadsheets on the main screen. It was the predictable result of institutional policies that rewarded officers for treating citizens as targets rather than community members. I watched the faces of the council members who had previously backed the union turn to stone. Political survival required them to immediately denounce the very policies they had authorized. Finally, Harrison's lawyer, a poor man who was clearly out of his depth since the union had abandoned him, announced, "The defendant wishes to make a statement." Harrison stood up. His arrogance was gone, replaced by a confused emptiness. He looked directly at me. The woman he had humiliated now controlled his entire future. "I was following department policy," he stammered, his voice lacking any conviction. "I was doing what supervisors rewarded, what union representatives encouraged, what federal grants required." I didn't react. I just waited for the silence to settle. Then, I spoke to the entire chamber, my voice devastatingly calm. "Mr. Harrison, you tore my dress thinking you were teaching a lesson to someone powerless. You discovered instead that true power belongs to people who serve communities, not those who exploit them." The chamber erupted. Justice wasn't just promised, it was delivered with data, with video, and with the full weight of federal authority. 6 months later, I stood in the same Shell station parking lot. Ahmad Hassan walked up to me, smiling broadly. "Chief Vance, thank you for keeping your word. Complaints against the department are down 70%. Federal grants now reward community engagement over confrontation. Harrison is serving his 18 months. 14 officers are gone. The quota system is nothing but evidence in a pending RICO case. My torn dress. It hangs framed in my new office, a reminder that the most defining moment of my career wasn't the ceremony, but the moment I decided to stop being a ghost and become the witness. Sometimes, justice wears a torn dress, and sometimes it holds a badge. But here's the thing. My fight is only one story. The system I dismantled, the one that rewards arrest numbers over decency, exists everywhere. So, I want to know, what piece of systemic corruption, what quota in your own town, be it in policing, housing, or your HOA, do you believe needs to be exposed? What's the one thing that looks like a normal policy, but is actually a tool for injustice? Drop a comment below and tell me your story. Let's bring the receipts. On the 5th morning, the quiet morning was shattered. Bill woke up screaming, "Michael, where's my boy?" I rushed over. He was trembling, eyes wide with the return of memory, painful, agonizing fragments. "My son, he was in an accident." He called 911, but nobody stopped. They all just drove past. I finally understood. This wasn't about memory loss. It was about trauma. About a father who had lost his faith in humanity because when his son Michael needed help, nobody pulled over. Bill looked at me, tears streaming down his face. "You stopped. When I was dying in the snow, you stopped. You gave me back the one thing I thought was dead in this world, human decency." He then revealed the devastating truth. His name was William Morrison. He was the $2 billion owner of Morrison Global, controlling half the skyscrapers downtown. And for the past 6 months, he had been living on the streets, pretending to be homeless, to test people. I became obsessed with the idea that humanity was gone, he confessed, pacing my tiny living room. I spent 6 months proving it. You know how many people stopped to help a dying homeless man? You. Just you. I felt sick. So this was all an experiment? Our friendship is fake. No, Elijah. The friendship is the only real thing that came out of this. But the hypothermia was real. I really was dying. He pulled out an expensive leather checkbook. "I need to give you something. $500,000 for Lily's surgery." I backed away instantly. "No, absolutely not. I can't take your money. I helped you because you needed help. That's exactly why you deserve it, Elijah. You are the exception. I won't take charity," I insisted. "That's not who I am." He closed the checkbook slowly, studying me with an intensity that pierced through me. "Then let me offer you something you have to earn." He picked up my phone, dialing a number from memory. "Dr. Chun, this is William Morrison. I need to discuss Lily Jones's case immediately. I funded the new cardiac wing at Northwestern City Medical." My head was spinning. He wasn't just offering money. He was offering a transformation. The next day, I was at the 47th floor of Morrison Tower, in a conference room that overlooked all of Midtown, feeling utterly underdressed. William, now impeccably tailored, slid a thick folder across the table. "Elijah," he said, skipping the small talk. "I didn't end up in that snowbank by accident. I hired private investigators to identify people who consistently chose kindness over self-interest. We monitored over 200 people. You were extraordinary. I stared at the photographs in the folder, photos of me picking up Lily, helping old ladies with groceries, returning lost wallets. They spied on me. We needed to know if your kindness extended to life or death situations. William continued, walking to the window. I was genuinely dying, but I hoped your route would take you past that exact location. You were one of only 3 drivers working that night. The other 2 saw me. Both drove past without stopping. I buried my face in my hands. The betrayal of the lie was profound, but the truth of the sacrifice remained. Why does any of this matter now? I whispered. William's expression grew deeply serious. Because I'm dying, Elijah. Pancreatic cancer, 6 months left. And Michael, my son, he wanted to be a doctor, just like you. This foundation was supposed to be his legacy. He slid a contract toward me. The Morrison Foundation has a $500 million endowment. I want you to run it. Your salary is $200,000 annually, full benefits, and complete authority over the grants. Your job isn't to manage money. Your job is to identify people with the moral compass to change the world, people like you. He promised Lily's surgery was scheduled for next week, fully covered. My medical school debt, paid. If I wanted to finish my degree, covered. This is too much, I said, shaking my head. It's exactly the right amount for the right person, William insisted. You saved my life with $18.23 and no expectation of reward. That's what this foundation needs. Human decency on a massive scale. I looked at the detailed plans for the foundation's first year. Medical scholarships for single mothers, free clinics, emergency assistance for families facing crises. Michael's vision. I picked up the pen, then set it down. I have one condition. Lily's surgery happens first. I need to know she's safe. Scheduled for Monday, William confirmed. And I want the first grant to go to someone Lily chooses, I added. She understands what it feels like to need help. William's eyes filled with tears. Michael would have loved that idea. You've already been doing this your whole life, Elijah. I'm just giving you the resources. I signed the contract. Okay, I whispered. Let's change the world. 2 years later, Lily is running across the playground, her heart monitor showing a perfect, steady rhythm. I completed my final year of medical school, Dr. Elijah Jones, Executive Director of the Morrison Foundation. The foundation created 847 jobs, reduced unemployment by 23% in target neighborhoods, and funded hundreds of people who deserved a chance but had no resources. The best part? I still drive my old Honda sometimes. And a few months ago, while driving Lily home, she yelled, "Daddy, pull over. That person at the bus stop needs help." I saw a young engineering student, struggling, holding a sign. I handed him my business card. "Come to my office tomorrow," I told him. 2 years ago, I was exactly where you are. Someone stopped when they could have driven past. Now it's my turn. Lily grinned at me. That felt good, didn't it, Daddy? It did. Because the best stories never end. They just find new people to save. The world needs more people who stop in the storm. So, I ask you, what is your $20 moment? When did you choose kindness when everyone else drove past? Share your story below. Let's prove William Morrison right. That human decency is still the most valuable currency we have.